But I was reading about 3 in 5 people would end a date early or break up with somebody if they had a food habit that you found annoying. And what would make you walk out on a date? Here are the top annoying food habits, according to this story that I was reading. Talking with your mouth full during a date. That's like number one. People just thought,
I couldn't do it.
Disgusting.
I couldn't do it.
Couldn't. Right. Chewing loudly during the date. So where were you born? Open mouth chewing.
Yeah.
Open mouth chewing, which is talking with your mouth full. I mean, it's kind of the same.
Thank you for this information. I had no idea.
I'm helping people who are going out on first dates.
Keep
It's
my
very
mouth closed while chewing
it's
don't talk.
nerve-wracking. Slurping food. Now, I'm accused of doing that, but I have to eat while I'm on the air, and I have a microphone in front of me, and that's my excuse, and I don't care to discuss it anymore. But if I were sitting across from somebody and I ordered the onion soup, I'm not going to be there. So I like your hair. It's
all we're asking is that you treat us the way you would treat somebody you were taking on a date. That's all.
And I knew this was going to happen when I brought it up. I knew that it would be bifurcated into something that was painful for me.
Oh, poor Bob.
Double dipping. So you order the the clam dip or whatever it is, and you got some, or maybe you're at a Mexican restaurant, they bring you the salsa, and you take a bite, but then you go back in again.
Yeah.
People, I don't know.
At what point though? Now wait. All right, I see what you're saying. First date, no good. At what point can you double dip?
After you've had some mouth kissing, at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, some mouth kissing. What do you start out with arm kissing? What are you talking about?
Well, there's the air kiss. There's the kiss on both cheeks. There's the handshake.
Not with a date.
With a first date, you might not necessarily. Hey, listen, playa. Some of us don't go all tongue wrestling on a first date, okay?
I didn't say that, but the first time you kiss, it's not going to be her neck.
Yeah, unless you're dating Gomez Adams, I agree, but you're not going to
tickle fingers. You're going for the neck first.
I was asked. The reason I asked the question, Bob, was would it be when the first kissing, or would it be after you had consummated this relationship in a biblical way?
No, I think it's the. I agree with Sheri. I mean, if you've kissed this person, as she said, on the mouth, then why go ahead and dip the chip
double
in there.
Dip, yeah.
Yeah, and finally,
but Lamar,
yes.
I don't know whether you're very old-fashioned about your double dipping, or a real fast mover. That Lamar's like, it is only after I've known you in a biblical sense that I will have your saliva in my salsa.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, playa.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Oh, boy, Bob. You think you know a guy, am I right?
I know. People have lives we can only imagine, Sheri.
Sometimes people are not double dipping. Sometimes they turn the chip around and chip from the other side, dip from the other side.
Oh, yeah.
He chips from the other side, everybody. Okay.
Hey, hon, why don't you kiss me? And then you could double dip.
That would be such a funny thing to have happen on a first date.
I know. And finally, what would make you walk out on a date? The other person is eating food from off the floor.
Oh, my goodness. What are you doing?
Sally, I know my chicken fell on the floor here, but it's so good. I'm picking it up and eating it.
What? If you get it quick enough.
I know I stepped on it, but I'm eating that chicken. It's so good. I'm not paying for another one.
Bring whatever you drink and celebrate Happy Hour. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on the Bob and Sheri Facebook page.
I got to thinking about something we talked about eating food off of the floor. And we had the conversation, and I didn't think anything about it. Well, Carla's listening to the show, which in itself is amazing because she doesn't do that, but she was. And she said, "What are you talking about? Eating off the floor?" She says, "That would be," she flips out over it. And I happen to think about it. Like if we're in a restaurant and we're eating and one of my French fries falls out of the plate and it hits the table, Carla, like, she just picks it up and puts it over to throw it away. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "It hit the table. You can't eat that." What? It's
I
the
get that.
table. It's not the
No.
floor. It's the table. And I know what you're going to say. They wipe the table off with that same rag they wipe the seats out with and wash their
Yeah.
car with and whatever. I get all that. I get all that. But this
I
is
never
a
thought
perfectly
about
good.
wiping the seats with the same thing that they wipe
You
the
watch
table
it.
with.
They
But that
wipe the
doesn't
do,
booth
though.
seats out and then they wipe the table. So I understand. I understand what's going on. But there's some soap in there somewhere. I know there's some soap in there somewhere. And it depends on what the food is. Okay. Now, if a piece of gravy biscuit falls outside of the plate and hits the table, it's a goner. Okay. There's no coming back. Gravy is sort of liquidy and but a or a potato chip. If you listen, I can drop a potato chip in the parking lot and I look, and if it's a relatively clean surface in the parking lot, I'm not seeing a problem there. I mean,
I'm with Carla. No, I'm with Carla, and I don't know if it was COVID. I think it probably really snowballed with COVID. But if I'm at a restaurant and there's a fork that's brought to me and it's put down on the table, I want a different fork. And when I'm eating, I put the fork on a napkin so it doesn't hit the surface, because you just described it. They're wiping up the seat and then wiping, the table in front of me. Why are Carla and I wrong?
okay, because to survive in this world, you have to have a certain amount of dirt inside your system to get used to it. If all you do is live in a bubble, a germ will get you. But you have to eat some of the germs so that you build up a natural tolerance to it. I mean, it's just, come
I
on.
think there's a difference between eating dirt as a kid and taking a fork off of a table over at the Quincy's. Not that I eat at Quincy's, but I don't even know if Quincy's is still a thing.
I don't think it is. I'm not sure.
Well, it's probably not because you don't eat there. That's why they're out of business. You see what's happening?
Guys,
I mean, come on.
I'm not
I don't
gonna
know. I just don't.
I'm not going to judge.
it.
I'm not going to judge any of you. I worked for many, many years as a server, and I ain't using a communal ketchup bottle at a restaurant because I know how that refill situation works. So I'm not going to judge you for your fork or Carla for her fries. And Lamar, you know what? If you scrape a Sammy off the floor at a restaurant and eat it, I can't even judge you. You're one of the healthiest people I know, and it hasn't seemed to hurt you a bit.
It's Bob and Sheri.
Without even trying, last night, I did a slick move. Mary was saying, I wish we could share the cooking more. I know you do the dishes, but I'll do the dishes more. If we could just share the cooking. And I went, okay. And she said, you could look up some recipes online and all this and that. And so I thought, well, I'll start with my wok cooking first, and and she likes it, and I know how to do it. It's not like I'm baking something. So I had this all in my head. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get my chicken and the onions and the carrots and the broccoli and all the stuff that I use with my wok cooking, and make sure I have the hot sauce that she likes in it. And, I said to her, you know what, baby, I'm going to, I've already planned it. She was working at the time. Don't even think twice. I have dinner tonight. Don't even think twice. And she said, oh, that's great. But they moved book club, and I'm going to be at book club tonight. I'll just eat girl food over there. So, don't bother. Just do whatever you want for yourself. I went, oh, you're kidding. I really wanted to cook for you tonight. She said, well, maybe another night, but not tonight. So here's my slick move. I got credit because I was going to do it, and I planned it. But I didn't have to do it. It's quite a bit of work.
Genius.
I just heated up a pizza while she was at book club, had myself a very nice pizza with a bottle of beer and watch the shows that she hates. So it was such a win, and I don't get those wins very often like that.
That is a win-win. That's like when you ask the guy at work that you really don't want to eat lunch with, but you
Hmm.
need to ask him to lunch, and when you
Hmm.
do, he's already got plans, and you go,
Oh yeah,
I am so
there's nothing.
sorry.
There's
Check that
nothing
off
like
the
it.
list. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's the greatest. It's
exactly.
the greatest. It
Or you're
absolutely is.
invited. You're invited to a wedding of one of her friends' kids, right? And it's going to take the entire weekend, and you don't know anybody. And this actually happened to me once. And then it's postponed because the couple is having trouble. And you feel
Oh,
bad for the
when
couple. Oh,
you
that's
do, you feel
terrible.
terrible.
Oh,
But
but you got a weekend. Is that evil? Is that evil when you have those thoughts? Because
mm.
God knows what you're thinking. Is that evil?
I just think it's fortuitous more than
Fortuitous,
evil.
yeah.
It's just fortuitous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes, we it's not that we don't want to do things, it's that we don't really want to do things. And like in our heart, we want to go to, in that case, Bob, the wedding or whatever. In our heart,
Mhm.
we want to go, but in our bodies and brains and bank accounts, we do not. And so if we have to go, we will. But if it gets postponed, what a
Mm.
victory.
It's a win. It's a win. When you say in the heart, that you mean the right thing to do is that.
Yes. And
That's the
you
right
know
thing to
that,
do.
well, and you also know that you want to be there for people's life moments. And that
Yes.
you will be there for people's life moments. But if that gets canceled or postponed, there is no shame in feeling the lift of joy that you're not coming out of pocket on all the in this case for you, plane tickets and hotels and all of that. You're allowed to be okay with that.
Because you didn't do anything to cause it. It's not. It's not.
No,
It's not.
it's not
You're
my
not
fault.
being conniving. It's just
No.
okay. It's out of
Yeah.
my hands.
Now,
Out of my
when you say
hands.
life, you want to be there for people's life moments. If Doc all of a sudden met somebody and decided that he's going to get married, and it's going to be in Daytona Beach, Florida, yeah, I'm going to go. But when I don't know the people that much to be, I don't know who they are. I've only maybe met one of the kids or whatever. Um, do I really care about their life moments? About being there? Is that evil? Is that evil right there? I don't think it's
Well,
evil.
you know what? It's not that it's evil, but I probably wouldn't have said it out loud into a microphone.
Yeah.
I might have kept
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
I might have
Really?
kept
It's
that
not
thought to
evil.
myself. What do you think,
It's
Lamar? I would have
private.
kept that thought to myself.
Yeah. It's certainly not evil. It's better that the rest of us don't know it. But yeah, it's not evil. You're fine. But now we
Yeah.
know it.
Do you
so.
think anybody listening would think that I would have to be there because I wanted to be there for somebody's life moment that I don't really know? The audience knows me pretty well.
Yes, the
Mm.
I'm
audience
just
knows you.
being
The audience
honest.
knows
Yes.
you. But Mary's relatives, they don't know you like the audience does. So you can
Yeah.
go ahead and keep up that phony charade with them. That's why you
Yes. It's
shouldn't
too
say it
late
out
for
loud.
for us. You're wasting
Yeah.
it on us. Yeah. We know
Hmm.
better.
Yeah.